talk about how it pays to be able to connect to your different incarnations or your past lives as they're known. This is also going to be beneficial if you want to become a manifestation coach. And so I just did an Akashic record reading for a client, and she was telling me, hey, I feel really stuck. I'm in this career, but I know that I could be doing so much more. She's a project manager, which we're going to circle back around to, and how that's going to play out for her in the future. She was saying, I know what I'm capable of. I'm very motivated and determined. I have a lot of drive. However, I don't know the steps to get into the life that I want, that I know that I can bring forth. How do I get there? Because in her career, there's a certain cap of wealth that she's going to be able to reach there, and it is taking up a lot of her time, obviously, in a 9 to 5 or however many hours she works, and it's not fulfilling her soul to be doing that type of work. And I said, okay, let's get into it. Before I met with her on Zoom, I did some pre-channeling, and I connected to one of her different incarnations. I don't know if you've ever seen the city Metropolis, but it's from DC, and the city looked like that. It wasn't Metropolis, obviously, but it was just very high advanced technology. Her different incarnation came forward, grabbed my hand. She said, oh, I'm so excited you're here. And she took me to this cafe. There's not a whole lot of foliage, like plants and trees in this city, but in her cafe, she had planted almost like this jungle inside of there. It was very refreshing. And I said, why is nobody here? And she said, I have cleared the whole day for us to be able to talk one-on-one together. And I said, oh, you already knew I was coming? And she was like, yes. She was telling me that my client has the energetic templates to understand quantum mechanics and quantum physics on an energetic level, not necessarily super scientific based with atoms and all the different things, but more so, what do we need to shift internally in order to become a vibrational frequency match to our desires? I said, okay, well, how is that tangible to her in this incarnation? Obviously, it's going to help her in her own life. She said that she can put together a manifestation course for people that is going to be extremely expansive and really have all of the fundamental keys that they need to understand these concepts on a quantum level, forever changing their lives. And she said that she could also do one-on-one sessions, kind of like I do with people on Zoom, where yes, they can take this course over here, but if they want to talk about what's going on in their lives in a more tangible way and what's blocking them up or challenging them, or just so that they can feel seen, heard, and validated, because a lot of people feel very isolated in their Lightworker experience, and it's nice to be able to speak to somebody who understands what's going on up here or in here. Her different incarnation was coming forward to be a mentor to my client. She said, I'm so good at this. Anything that I want in life, I get, because I understand that everything is energy. It's literally just pairing your imagination with belief, so that you can magnetize anything that you want, so that you can restructure energy. So she is going to be helping my client with putting this course together and giving her the downloads and the insights and the guidance at a much more accelerated pace, because now she has a clear channel from somebody who is an expert within this field. The advice that this different incarnation was giving her to get her started was, we need to be learning, if this is you want to be a manifestation coach, we need to be learning about the observer effect, how to work within our imagination, and specifically how to help our inner children feel safe in their imagination, and that it is the most important thing. Everything tangible in the 3D reality came from somebody's imagination. It was thought of in the first place. And that includes money too, but that's a whole nother topic. So learning about our imagination, parallel realities, because we need to understand how to embody the energetics of a higher self that is living in a reality that already has what we want. Processing our emotions, because if we are feeling a lot of anger, shame, guilt, resentment, that's very heavy and dense. Those are not the emotions that are pairing with our manifestations. Those are joy and whimsy and magic and fun and happiness and bliss and peace. We have to clear out these over here and learn how to process them in order to bring in these higher frequency ones. learning about your central nervous system and how that operates and how to heal it, because oftentimes people don't want to process their emotions because it activates their central nervous system, and they have an activated central nervous system because of things that have happened to them in childhood. So inner child healing also comes into play here. There are a lot of different moving parts when it comes to manifesting. Her higher self in this other incarnation, we're saying, because of the way that her brain works, because she ended up becoming a project manager, she's really good at multitasking and connecting things together. She is going to be able to create this expansive program and become a project manager of people's lives. The other thing that she was going to have to work on was the fear of being seen. I actually went in there to do some work with her inner child specifically to figure out where the roots of that was coming from. It was partly, in fact, because she was bullied and made fun of because she was so different, her brain working and operating outside of the norm. Also being hypersensitive, so she was often ostracized or could feel people's kind of disdain even if they weren't saying it. Explaining to her inner child, I said, if you get into building this course and becoming a manifestation coach, people are going to want to pay you to hear what you have to say. They want to listen to you. They enjoy listening to you. They're going to be hyping you up and supporting you and loving you and be thankful that you are their guide and their mentor. I gave her inner child a memory ball of my personal experience as a child and showed her where I do understand why she feels that way, because that was also my experience. But then I showed her my life now and what I do in my business and how amazing and beautiful it is, and that could be her reality too. You know, if you want to put a course together, become a coach, you're gonna have to be seen. We are going to have to make content to promote it and work on our confidence and self-esteem of, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm very intelligent. I know how to connect things to one another. I have brought in all these manifestations for myself as proof as well that I know what I'm talking about. The amazing thing about having the goal of becoming a manifestation coach is that in you learning all of these concepts, you end up learning how to manifest amazing things for you too, not just for other people. And it just continues and continues to get better with the things that you're able to manifest and magnetize to you. The reason that I was bringing this up today is I told her that she would have gotten to these conclusions even if she wasn't working with me. Your intuition is going to lead you on the right path, especially if you're taking action steps. She was working on healing trauma and PTSD, and she had told me that she had already started getting into manifestation and quantum mechanics before we even had our session. I said, yeah, that was you downloading all of these steps in. When you are able to connect with these different incarnations of yourself that already have tools and resources and abilities, it can make it so much easier for you to get to where you're going, because now we have a specific mentor to help us. Oftentimes when people are thinking about past lives or different incarnations, they think of trauma and things that are really heavy that have happened, or karmic ties or soul contracts or vows, and all of those things are true. But on the flip side of that, there's so much that you can benefit from. And you can learn all of this expansive knowledge and esoteric wisdom as well. It's not all just negative. Like, there's some really amazing positive ones too. And trauma and PTSD is not necessarily negative. We want to go in and be able to help those different incarnations release that, which helps us in the here and now as well. But you can equally be as open to receiving mentors and guides and teachers to help you in this incarnation. So I would love to hear in the comments if this resonated with you, if it unlocked and activated something, and I hope you have a super magical day.